Morning, students. Well, in continuation with the chapter federalism, where already I've explained you what makes India a federal country. So today, let's see how is federalism practiced in our country. Well, children, it was not very easy to practice the federalism in our country, but it was all possible because of the nature of the democratic politics in our country, which of course ensured that the spirit of federalism, respect for diversity, and desire for living together, that all became a shared ideals in our country. So let us look some of the major ways in which this has been practiced or how actually it happened. So what first one I am going to explain you how India was able to create the linguistic states. When we talk about a linguistic states, we mean to say a state. You know very well that India is a country where a large number of people reside speaking different language, following different culture. So it was decided to divide the country in this way that the people speaking the same language or the same culture should share or should live together. So it was a big risk which our country took it. So this creation of linguistic state was the first and major test for democratic politics in our country. Till in 1947, the boundaries of several old states of India were changed in order to create a new state. Now this was done to ensure that people who spoke the same language lived in the same state. So some states were created not on the basis of language but to recognize differences based on culture. So these includes the states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand. So when the demand for the formation of these states were done, that too on the basis of language, so some national leaders of a country, they feared that it would lead to a disintegration of the country. So the central government, to a certain extent, they resisted this linguistic state for some time. But this experience has shown that the formation of linguistic states has actually made the country more united because it has made administration more easier. Then if we talk about the second test for the Indian Federation, that was the language policy. That is, which language India should follow. Because you know very well that a huge number of the people reside in a country and most of them they speak different language. So our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. Though Hindi was identified as the official language, but Hindi is the mother tongue only of about 40% of the Indians. So it was decided to protect the safeguard and to protect the other languages. So beside Hindi, do you know there are around 21 other languages which are recognized as scheduled languages by the constitution. So a state to have their own official languages. So the much of the government work takes place in the official language of the concerned state. So children, according to our constitution, the use of English for official purpose was to stop in 1965, as many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English should be continued. One of them was Tamil Nadu. So the central government later on decided on agreeing to continue the use of English along with Hindi for official purposes. Now this flexibility shown by our Indian political leaders really helped our country to avoid any kind of a situation that, if you remember, the Sri Lanka, it found itself once. So that is the reason we do not give any state language. We do not have any state language, but we do allow the states to do work in their language, and we have an official language, that is English and Hindi both. Then let's see how this federation was actually came in practice in relation with the center state relations. So if we talk about center-state relations, so children, this reconstructing the state center-state relation is one more way in which a federalism has been strengthened. Now, it was not very easy to maintain a relationship between center and state, as for a very long time it happened that the same party they ruled both the center and the state. So in such condition it was not very difficult to manage, because the party which was ruling the center, the same party was ruling the state government. So as and when the ruling party at the state was different, the parties that ruled the center tried to undermine the power of the state. This happened when it was that the center was ruled by some other political party and state was ruled by some other political party. That was a time when the center government they tried to undermine the power of the state government. So in those days the central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state government that was controlled by the rival parties. So this undermined the spirit of federalism. But all these things changed after 1919, as this period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states of the country. And this was also the beginning of the coalition government. That means when no single party got a clear majority in Lok Sabha, then the major national parties had to enter into an alliance with many parties, including the several regional parties, to form a government at the center. Now children, this led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the state government. And this trend was supported by Supreme Court. So now this made it difficult for the central government to dismiss the state government. So this is how a federal power sharing is more effective today than it was in early years after the constitution came into force.